Okay, yep, there we go. It's recording. So hey you guys, what's going on? It's your good guy here, PrinceOnyx, and I'm back with my last video of the day. I was going to do maybe like one more, maybe two more, but I'm feeling a little tired now. But you know, I'm telling you, listen, making videos is a lot of work. Even though I am putting these videos up and not, you know, putting the intro and outro and editing them or anything like that. Thank God I haven't had any interruptions in the last two videos, like except for my phone going off in the background or whatever. But other than that, because I'm trying to pronunciate more, I haven't had any distractions like the house phone ringing. Let me knock on wood. Or, you know, speaking of knocking, you know, going up to get the door, so I haven't had to do that. So hopefully, you know, fingers crossed and knock on wood, I don't want to have to get up and, you know, have any distractions or whatever. So anyway, I wanted to go ahead and talk about what happened with the CMA Awards and Beyonce performing on them with the Dixie Chicks. As we all know, Beyonce dropped her recent album earlier this year called Lemonade. And one of the songs on it is Daddy Lessons, and it's a country song. Like the minute that you hear it, the more like the second that you hear it, you feel that this is a country song. It's a very, very southern song. So, for those of you all who listen to the podcast, The Read, or may not know of The Read, Crystal has said on one of the episodes that if Beyonce wanted to truly cross over per se, she would wind up on the CMA Awards. And sure enough, you know, months later, after Crystal said that on The Read, Beyonce was on the CMA Awards. So of course, a lot of people, a lot of racist white country fans, not all white people, but some, the racist white conservative ones, they were really upset about the fact that Beyonce was going to be on there. They were boycotting and talking about, oh, we're not going to watch it. We're going to turn when she comes on. I hope she puts some damn clothes on. Oh, she's a cop hating bitch and da 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 da. She's a this. She's a whore. She's this. She's that. Like, you know, they were talking so much shit about her, and it's just like, it was very upsetting, but at the same time, I mean, who's really surprised? I mean, these people think that way, you know what I'm saying? And even during her performance with the Dixie Chicks, if you look in the audience, it was more of the older country artists and more of the older white folks who, you know, when the camera was on them, you know, some of the people were dancing and they were vibing along to the song and stuff like that. They were, you know, just like clapping and all that stuff. They were, you know, happy and all that stuff. But there were some that you can tell they were like, you know, what is she doing here? And some were just like, should we clap? Should we dance? Like, you know, what should we do? And so it's like, you know, for the ones who had that look on their face of what is she doing here? That's basically code word for why are niggers here? Let's just be honest. Like, when you understand coded language and code words, you understand what certain stuff means. Like, in this day and age, you know, you still do have people who will be flat out racist to you in your face, and you'll have those who are very subtle with it, like you don't catch it until after the fact, until later on. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, so in other words, coded language, you know, like what are they doing here, or what is she doing here, what is he doing here? Code word for what are these niggers doing here? So, needless to say, that's what that is. But in all honesty, for the people who were upset about Beyonce, you know, performing, it's very odd. It's very ironic, not odd. It's very ironic and very funny in a way that white people seem to forget that all the genres of music that they have, they stole from us. Going back to country, jazz, blues, rock and roll, when you look up the origins and the history, the true history and the true origins of hold on. Whew, sorry about that. Anyway, when you look up the history and the true origins of these different music genres, you find out that they were created by black people. And however, there are certain country artists, I can't name them off the top of my head, but there are certain white country artists who, you know, do give credit where credit is due and do acknowledge the fact that country music did originate from the African American community. So there are those who do acknowledge that. And while, you know, there are people who, you know, say that, you know, music is colorless and, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Yeah, it is. I mean, you know, yeah, it is. I feel a certain way when all I know is this. Being who I am, I feel a certain way when I see a white person and hear a white artist singing an R&B song or a soul song, and it's just like, you know, black artists who sing, black singers who sing, you know, R&B and soul music may not get as much, you know, acknowledgement or credit or accolades as this white person. You know, I feel a way about that because it's just like, you know, you have the people who originated this genre of music, but they don't get the accolades or the just due that they deserve, but somebody else comes into the genre, sings the same exact song, or a song that's like, you know, just as soulful as the black artist, and they, you know, get all these awards and accolades, and it's just messed up to me. So that's just how I feel. You know, again, people can say, like, you know, the whole thing about, ooh, excuse me. You know, people can say, you know, the whole thing about music is colorless, blah, 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 you know, whatever. You're entitled to feel that way. You're entitled to feel that way just like I'm entitled to feel how I feel. But needless to say, with that being said, I had actually found this list I had made. It was a while ago I made this list. This was of different artists, like blues artists and country artists. I had found this list. These are all black artists, by the way, from like way back in the day, like the early 1900s, 1920s, and 30s and stuff like that. So it's like, for those of you, for those of you all who are interested, actually let me get a pen because I'm gonna mark the ones who I say, because it's a long list, so I'm not gonna say everybody's name, but I might, I don't know. But I'm going to say a couple of them, and it's like, you know, in your spare time, look these people up and listen to their music, and, you know, you will see that we invented country music just like we invented everything else. Just saying. You know, when you know about the history of the whole trademark and copyright office, and how, you know, because a lot of African Americans may have been illiterate back in the day, they either didn't get their stuff trademarked or copyrighted, or they knew how to, but it got stolen. The idea got stolen from them, and a white person, you know, took credit for it. And, you know, till this day, we are still, our children and, you know, generations like mine and the generations after mine are being fed and regurgitated the same information that we were about. Oh, so and so invented this, and so created this, and it's in all actuality, no, the hell they didn't. They stole it from a black man. They stole it from a black woman. They stole it from a black couple. They stole it from a black family. Whatever. They stole it from people of color, specifically African American. Anyway, some of the artists who I wrote. There's one artist named Blind Lemon Jefferson, and these names will be in the description box. Tommy Johnson, Blind Blake, Bertha Lee Pate, Robert Johnson, Blind Willie McTell, Skip James, Charlie Patton, Stick McGhee, Brownie McGhee, and Howlin Wolf. So again, those are just some of the names of the different black country artists who, you know, in your spare time, you know, look these people up, listen to their music, and let me know what you guys think. So yeah, like I said, that's pretty much my thoughts and opinions on the whole thing with Beyonce and the controversy of her being at the Country Music Awards. I liked the performance. It was really good. The Dixie Chicks did a good job as well. And that's pretty much about it. So hope you guys enjoyed this video along with the other two. And this is PrinceOnyx signing off. Peace.